Hey folks, I'm Leon, and this is Mind Your Business Quad Cities, where every month I'll be interviewing small business owners local to the Quad Cities. We want to know who they are and why they do what they do. With a population of 333 million people in the U.S. and only 10% being small business owners, we need to know more. All right, we're here in the studio with Sam and Tarah from Sammy's Burgers here in Prescott. They're located at 2161 East Hillsdale Road, right around the roundabout across from Watson Lake. The number is 928-379-5529. I'm excited to have them here. Love their operation. So welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
So Sam, tell us about the burger joint.
Well, the wife and I decided a while back we needed to do something different. I was deploying for 18 years.
Well, he was military 6.
Yeah, military 6, and then he was contracted out. So you've been going for quite some time.
Yeah, for 12 years. Yeah, so 2 months on, 2 months off for 12 years.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, we need to be home with the kids, because all my kids are, only one's out of the house. So I got 3 more growing up, and that's why our hours are the way they are as well. 10 to 2. So I can drop my kids off at the bus in the morning, and I can pick them up from the bus after work.
Dude, I love your operation. It's synonymous with family. It goes like, it just fits you guys perfect. I love your hours. I love the reason your hours are they are.
Yeah.
And it's going to work out perfect.
Yeah, it's been working out great. And it's been, people love the vibe because, I got my wife is at the window and she loves the chat.
You're not up front?
Yeah. And I'm in the back hiding, just making food, because she's better at dealing with people than I am.
How do you like it up front?
I do. It gets kind of like emotionally draining sometimes, just
It
dealing
is.
with like people
Yes.
constantly. So our daughter, she'll work a day or two, usually 2 days a week at the window for me, so I can
Nice.
take care of all the background
How
stuff.
old is she?
She's 18.
Oh, nice.
She's actually graduating.
She's
tomorrow.
graduating.
Okay.
tomorrow.
This is perfect for her then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's great. We couldn't do it without her.
That's great.
She did online school this year and then worked basically, almost full time with us. And
Nice. So you're paying her out of the business?
yeah.
Mhm.
This is good. This is good. So who else from the family is inside the operation?
Well, it's us. Sometimes his mom.
My mom will cover for Tara at the window. My mom was making
Sure.
the pies, but we switched up to Grandma's Bakery's pies just because we're so busy now that we're doing like so much pork that we need that side of the fridge because there's
Gotcha.
no other room. The spot's really small, so there's no other room for another fridge.
Necessary adjustment.
So we switched, and now Grandma's Bakery downtown is making our pies.
Nice.
And
So you collaborated with them?
yeah, they
That's
make our
awesome.
buns already.
That's
which
nice.
Are great, and we collaborate with them. We collaborate with K4 Gourmet Beef. They're a local cow
I've seen that on
ranchers.
your on Instagram and Facebook from you
Yeah.
guys. That's awesome.
Mhm.
So their meat is really good. We love, and their business, they're really good people. And then,
and they're local.
yeah,
Yeah, they
they're
are.
local. So it's been those have been 2 really good connects for us.
It's a great community that way.
Yeah, and that's what we want.
Yeah, it's like it's just a plug in like that, and especially with other businesses that understand what you're looking at, and that's kind of the reason for the podcast.
Yeah,
The reason I started the podcast is because I wanted to have companies come on and I wanted them to talk about their business, so people can get an inside look at what they're dealing with.
Mhm.
Yeah.
People have no
They
idea
have no
Yeah.
idea.
what you look at, how you have to run your numbers, the things that you got to do to make sure that you keep your doors open. And so this is your platform to say, hey, these are why we make these adjustments. This is
Yeah.
like you just said, this is why I'm open from 10 to 2. I
Mhm.
pick up my kids, I drop my kids off.
yeah. And before we were able to hire another person to do my prep, I was doing the prep every morning. So I wasn't able to drop the kids off because I was going in at 6 or 7. Or we tried to do breakfast for a little bit. I was going
Oh
in
my
at
gosh.
4.
4.
That was a mistake that my wife told me at the time. So anyways, those kind of adjustments we just have to make,
Yeah, that's it. You just stay
We were
loyal to
trying-
the entity. What makes sense? If
Yeah,
it
we
makes
were just
sense, you try it.
Yeah.
If it didn't make sense, you adjust right back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sure people, but that's fine. That's just what it is. That's
Yeah.
noise. You got to do it.
We were the ones that lost the money though. Not
Yeah, I
them,
know.
So,
Yeah, I know.
and it was me having to wake up, bro. So I don't know.
Everybody was really upset, Yeah, no, I totally understand. But, as a business person, that's a smart thing to do is just make the adjustment that you have to make,
Yeah.
and that's what it is. Just a hard adjustment. Make it. A lot of people don't want to do that, but
Yeah, I
if
love
you're
the
smart, you
idea.
do it.
I love the idea too, like with K4 and Grandma's, we're growing our business as well as theirs, right? So
Yeah.
like people have started buying buns from Grandma's now because of our
'Cause you're
what
putting them
because
out there.
What we're doing with our
Yeah.
buns, that what they're making for us is such a good product. Now there's like other businesses are going to them. Same with K4. Like
you're the flag carrier. You're putting them out there.
Yeah, which is cool, man.
Yes, it is.
It's like they're helping me grow. I'm helping them grow.
Yes.
And like you said,
You
community.
blow up together, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
right?
best way to do
I
it.
think it's such a cool thing.
I remember when I first met you guys, you were doing, you were just at the beginning starting up over there. I was just at the beginning starting up a restaurant entity myself.
Yeah.
And I was getting my butt kicked, navigating through the hoops.
Yeah.
And I remember speaking to you, and it looked like you guys were navigating through those same hoops.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, dude.
It's craziness when you first start. Everybody comes out of the woodwork and is like, hey, you need something from me.
Yeah.
And you're not sure exactly if you do, you don't.
Yeah. Oh
You're
my
like, I'm not
gosh.
sure.
For
Yeah.
real.
Give me a second to figure it out. But everybody wants to sell you something
Mhm.
at the worst time too.
Yeah,
'Cause
when
you
have
know
no
that's when you're
money.
bleeding out.
Yeah.
Literally, like you have not gotten ready to get the money coming in, the revenue coming in.
Mhm.
You just set everything up, equipment costs, whatever it is. You've just bled out and you're trying to recoup.
Nothing left.
Yeah. And they don't understand
They're
that.
like,
they just
"Oh,
they just
give
come,
us
they see an entity open.
$300 a month for marketing.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, it was like when we made the decision, to say, okay, I'm done going to Iraq and Afghanistan. Afghanistan had just closed actually. And so I went, my last trip was to Iraq.
What, you were contracted out at this point, right?
Yeah, I was still contracting at this point. And so we took all of our savings and put it into this building, like to the last dime, bro.
Oh.
And and the county was pushing us our permits to the right. And we're like, dude, we got to get this thing open because we have no money.
Yeah.
Yes.
And my buddy told me, he's like, I know you wouldn't let me do this, but I'm doing it anyways. And he put up a GoFundMe to my buddies at work.
Oh, cool.
And they pitched in, guys pitched in and they got us another month and then we were able to open, and
People
stuff like that. People help out,
There's
because
such a huge startup and such a huge risk when you do something like this that unless you know someone who's done it or done it yourself, you don't understand what that looks like.
oh yeah. And we went as cheap
We
as we
went
could
into it
because that's all we
blind.
had,
Yeah.
that's why when you walk into Sammy's, it's got a cool vibe.
It's divey.
But like my dad and I did all that, dude.
Yeah.
Like, my wife is like, this is what I want it to look like because she's got that eye,
Nice.
And then my dad and I just did
And a
build
very
out,
small
'cause we
budget.
couldn't- Yeah,
That's right. You
We couldn't afford to pay nobody to do it, dude.
No, but you guys did a great job over there. It's a great spot. You definitely made it yours. It fits you. It fits the model. The model's great. You got a great thing going on. The burgers are delicious. The fries, everything's great there. The menu's so simple. It's smart. You were smart. You didn't get crazy. You
Yeah.
kept it simple.
It was
I'm sure
something-
people come to that window and they try to get crazy.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
they just start making stuff. That's just
yeah.
what people
Yeah.
do. They're like, hey, let me deconstruct this burger you make. And
Do you have
Every
zucchini
day.
fries? Or no? Like,
Every day people order things that aren't on the menu.
Yeah.
And then get mad that they're not on the menu.
The biggest thing for us was the no lettuce and tomato.
Oh my gosh.
Is that right?
We fought
Because
over
we
that.
we had a disagreement over it, and I told her, I said, no, it's a smash burger. It separates us. We're different. It doesn't need lettuce and tomato. And then
And we didn't
if
have
you
the
think about it,
space.
we don't have the storage space space. And tomatoes, sometimes they show up rotten. The lettuce.
yes, quality's not always the same. That's right. The vendor, yes.
And
Yes.
so the way that we do it, and so what we do though is we do have the Moab sauce and we have different stuff,
It works. Without a doubt. It
Yeah,
works.
It's definitely, it took a little bit for people to catch on, and then just on Tuesday, I made a batch of Moab for the week. It usually lasts the week. I have to make it again tomorrow.
Nice.
Like that's how fast.
Nice. It's going, huh?
now, Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
This is good. Like you're just going to be jamming as soon as you open your doors until you close. I mean,
Yeah.
but that's what you want, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's what you want.
That's what it's a sprint, we
Yeah.
open and we just run and then.
Question. So the model's great, right? It looks great. Looks like it's working. Would you ever consider changing your model because of the volume? Or would you just hold tight to your model and maybe go franchise or something because it's such an amazing model?
You look at like Aaron Franklin's barbecue, there's a line down the
Yes,
street
right.
and he sells out every day.
Yeah.
We're not even near that level. That guy is his, but I'm just saying, I don't think I need to change the model. I think I could do what I can do. I've thought about like maybe trying to make the kitchen a little bit bigger, put another griddle, and I could have two guys going. But that's what I was saying. I got my food truck now.
Yeah.
If I had the food truck going in the back and I had the griddle going inside, now I've just created two kitchens,
Yeah.
right? Without having to go and build and pay rent to a guy for a whole new building. and go through all the county stuff and all that all over again, right? Like I already got
all
my
that
commercial.
craziness.
Yeah, dude.
I
So
know.
I mean, it's kind of maturing and it's kind of metastasizing. We're kind of just figuring it out
as
we
you're
go,
going along. That's right. That's how it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the addition of the trailer was great because it really put you out there in different spots. You know what I mean? And attach you to different other entities that you know, obviously you got a brick and mortar shop. You're not going to pick it up and go somewhere.
No, and that's
You know?
what
And now you could take Sammy's Burgers.
that's what Tarah wanted to do. And it was Tarah, and I get on her all the time, like, this was your idea, you know? Because I'm like, we did an event for who was it?
When it's going nuts, right? When it's going crazy.
So we did the point though. That's another thing I used to yell at her, 12 years, Tarah, you know, like, in the shop while we're cooking. Because when we first opened, dude, we had never done this before, you know? And I was like, this is how it ends. This is how our marriage ends. But no, we did an event the other day. It was like, I did like an 18-hour day, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's just.
No, the point was almost 20 hours.
Because we worked the shop, then we went into the event. But, you know, once it's all done, you know how it is when you work hard, like, you feel good.
That's right. You
know,
appreciate
we're not here just
things.
to sit on our ass. And
People, that's what I'm saying. People don't realize, like, they just don't. Business is so many moving parts. It's just not your hours of operation.
No.
Operations is a 10 to 2. Like you were saying before, you were getting there to prep at 7. It's only going to get earlier and earlier as volume goes up.
yeah.
And then there's all the moving parts behind when the doors are closed, whether you're running here to get this or running that, the vendor didn't bring this. It's just, it doesn't stop.
And that, yeah. And with the trailer too, the idea, her and I were looking at numbers and dude, we're not killing it. Like, yeah, we're killing it in the sense a lot of people are coming there and they like us and they're talking about it. Like, yes, that's what we needed. Right. But like money wise, no.
Well, the
So
profit
that's
margins are real rough.
they're really
It
rough,
is,
especially
yeah.
with inflation and
It
everything
is.
that's going
It's
on
really
right now.
raised the price
You have to
of
do a
our
lot of
burger
volume now.
since
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
ridiculous.
Yeah,
It
what
really
a
is.
soft serve just went up.
Oh
like,
yeah, like 25%.
and like, and
I'm sorry, say that again.
The cost of soft serve base has gone up like 25%. Like
Potatoes
just,
went up,
things just keep going
like everything's
up. Like,
anyways.
I wasn't tracking that. No, that's what see, that's what I want you to talk about, because that's gonna eventually have to go back into your price. If they keep jamming it to you like that, you're either gonna put it back into your price or you're gonna be silly and close your doors. So that's what people need to know.
Or
So that's what just keeps
certain
your potatoes
items.
just went back up.
I'm not sure about
No,
the
they
potatoes.
did in
They
the past, but
fluctuate.
they fluctuate.
Yeah, because I remember our
Meat
S&P, our
fluctuates.
potatoes was going up
Yeah.
for a second.
Yeah.
Things are getting ridiculous here and there.
It was bad last year. There was some kind of like potato shortage, and it was like double.
I remember that. It was
like
ridiculous.
double.
So let me ask you a question. When that happens, do you adjust and put it back to your customer base, or you just eat it?
We've eaten it.
So what we've tried to do is now, because it stayed up for so long, we've had this discussion, and we had to raise prices on certain things.
Just tiny.
But we don't.
bits.
What we try not to do is we've never raised the price on the cheeseburger or the hamburger, right? Because we want everybody to be able to come and eat, right? Like, but the way I look at some of this other stuff is like luxury item stuff,
Yeah.
right? Like if you have the money to buy the milkshake or the whatever,
Yeah.
okay, cool. But if you don't have the money, but you still want to be able to take your kids out, there's parents that come in there, and Tarah and I. And this is not that like, well, we're so great or anything, but I'm just saying, like, we'll give the kids ice cream cones, you know, like, and thank the parents for coming.
Yeah.
Because they were able to come out and join us, our family.
That's
on
a family
Saturday,
business.
you know. And
That's
it's a cool-
family business stuff. Yeah.
And that's what, you know.
That's a
and
great
we
vibe.
can edit that out, but
You're
it's
gonna
a
have
real-
people showing up for ice cream now.
Yeah,
you know
I
that, right?
But like, yeah,
Hey, Wilson, we're going.
I don't have it on the menu because the cones I make are so ugly. Sometimes.
She's not the greatest at it.
I'm just like, I haven't gotten the twirl down.
Lily's better at it.
Little kids don't care though.
But no, so like I was saying, is we don't want to raise the prices of like every hardworking dude can come in and get a good meal, and if he wants to pay a little bit more, then he can get the Moab or the whatever.
The double.
And so that's how we try to offset it.
Yeah, they're gourmet burgers.
Dude, honestly, bro,
great
like
burgers.
the freaking meat we use, if you go to K4 to buy that meat, dude, it's expensive meat. Like, we could be selling them for, and people tell us all the time, you need to sell your stuff for more money.
For sure.
But we're like, look, if we're surviving and I can go buy a case of beer when I want it, then I'm cool, dude. Like, this thing will grow.
Sam's happy.
Yeah, that's what I tell her. I'm like, God's got it, dude. Like, if he wants this thing to grow and like give us, and I have our, you know, when I was contracting, I made good money, better than I did in the mill. And I told my wife then, I said, I never need to make more money than this, you know? And if we ever get to a point where I'm making more money than this, then okay, we need to find even more things that we can help.
That's awesome. Plugging back in.
And because Cause I don't need a Ferrari, bro. I'm
Yeah.
good with my F-250.
You good?
Like, I don't,
You don't need no bling bling and
no,
I hear
I
you.
got, I did get a watch Sangin. There's an ex-recon guy who got out and started this watch company called Sangin,
Okay,
and they got really cool stuff. So I bought one of those, but
nice, good, good. You work hard, dude. Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I'm a simple person. I don't need anything special. I shop at normal places. I don't, I just want to make sure my family's good.
Mhm.
Take care of
and
my
the people-
family.
and the people that work for you.
That's right. That
Yes,
they're moving up
take
and
care of
getting
your
into the end zone.
employees.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's harder and harder to do that now.
Yeah.
You know, so
and
that's
maybe in the future we would expand, but we would have to pay somebody enough to care enough to produce the same quality.
that's right.
You know,
That
and
quality
we're not
control
there-
is gonna have to be
we're
locked.
not there yet.
But your model's amazing. That I would imagine if you stay the course, sooner or later someone will approach you.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to happen.
That's good to hear.
Well, I mean, I can't see why it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Your volume is going to continue to go up. You got it locked down in the hours. It's a great little business that earns. So you come into work and you go on a sprint, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, you used to go on a jog. Now you're sprinting, or you're going to be sprinting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Straight through 4 hours.
Literally.
I mean, and that's great. So I can't see that's a thriving business, and you guys created that, and I can't see why it's not going to be recognizable. It's recognizable now, as far as I'm concerned. I'm telling you, people are going to come to you sooner or later. So those are decisions you'll have to make, and those are great decisions to have to deal with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. It really humbles us when people tell us that they love the food and all that stuff. It's really humbling, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you didn't go crazy with the menu. You kept it nice and simple. Everything's really good, and then you coupled it with some really cool drinks like the root beer floats. I mean, like, you get a burger with a root beer float.
The Italian sodas we're
Yeah.
doing now. We have like
Prickly pear
how many
lemonade.
flavors do you guys do now?
An 8.
8 Italian soda flavors, and
Nice,
I
and
would
your
re-
location's amazing.
I love the location.
The location's amazing.
Yeah.
Across from the lake, and just being right there on the 89, the volume that comes in on the traffic, that will
Mhm.
locate that will qualify that spot to be franchised. Just that, the traffic.
yeah, I couldn't.
So-
I was driving back from Home Depot. I just got back from deployment, and we were like talking about what we were gonna do.
'Cause we had to figure something
Oh, we
out.
could buy a food truck, and where could we park it? And I'm driving, and I hit that circle.
Yep.
And I was like, I was praying, talking to God, and I come around that circle, and I look, and I was like, no way. Is that a restaurant? Like it used to be Montana Barbecue.
That's right.
But everything was run down. They weren't there anymore. So I got out and I'm like looking through the windows, looking for a grease trap or a hood. And then like 3 months later, we finally got a hold of the owner, And it's
Yeah.
just it's just crazy the way things how they've happened and then how they've just grown. And it's all because of word of mouth and and
Hard
a
work
good
and staying the
product.
course too.
Yeah.
Because especially when you're starting up, you have the confidence in your model. You're like, I believe this is going to work, or you wouldn't have done all this money and dumped it in there.
Yeah.
That would be weird.
He believed it would work. I believed in
That's the.
There you go.
Okay, I'm gonna shut up. That's awesome. Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's amazing. So you dump all this money in something because you have an idea in your head and you're gonna put it on paper and it's gonna start resonating. You know what I mean? You take so much risk and then it actually happens that way. I mean, that's amazing. And you don't get that anywhere else. You only get that in small business. Like, okay, so the businesses that have been on this place, on this podcast, all have a story. Like, I just got up, I left, I came here with the knowledge I had and I opened up my business
Mhm.
pretty much, and I grew, started myself, I grew, started staffing, and now they have a business here in the community with a family and they're raising them here. Every one of them so far, we haven't had a lot because we're still young. So it's like 5 episodes or 6 episodes,
Mhm.
but every one of them so far has pretty much have a story just like that. Whether it's Jason Up and Smoke, that was like, hey, they bought the restaurant over here and they said, the hell with it. They're coming up. They're going to do barbecue over here. And they just did it. You know what I mean? And they were getting their butt kicks and they're making it work and it's turned around for them and they're doing great now. Or Brandon, or Jeff Brandon from AES, or Mario today from Allied. It's the same grab your balls type of story. Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to risk it. I believe I could do it. This has to happen for me. I'm going to do it for the family.
Oh, yeah.
And it resonates.
Yeah. And
Like,
you
it
don't have a
resonates.
choice to fail. 'Cause,
There's-
like, we had
That's right.
4 kids
You're
we had to
like-
support,
Yeah,
You're like, that's not even a thing.
There were so many days where we're just like,
Oh my gosh.
what are we doing? We can't do this anymore, And then we just, we
We don't
for
have a
us,
choice.
for us,
You just
we're,
keep doing it.
We're religious, so we go back into God, and God would give us the strength, man. And like honestly, that's how every time, because we were just like, what the hell are we doing? Like I've never worked a commercial kitchen in my life, bro.
Yeah.
Like the closest I got to one was dishwashing. And
Before the
in
military.
high school.
Oh, is that before the military? I was going to say, did you get in
Yeah.
trouble when you were in the
No.
military?
yeah. And then, KP duty. Yeah. Right. And then, but yeah, seriously, And the next thing you know, I have all these tickets on the board that my wife is sending back, and I'm just like, what the hell am I doing? And so I appreciate all the people that ate the burger then and still liked it, because it's way better now. I'm way better at my job now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It takes a lot of leadership to hold that down, because things are going crazy and someone's got to like be that point man.
Yeah.
Tickets are do you have one of those?
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
keeps coming back.
Get sent back to the kitchen.
Yeah, you get like 3 on the board, and then you look over on the printer. There's like 4 more. You're just like, what?
Starting to be like
is
skee
going on?
ball.
Yes. Yeah.
and that's what it takes. It takes a run like that to make money in this industry, because things have gotten so weird for us.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
have to grind.
It's like an impact that you get squeezed all over the place. So you have you seen your equipment tax?
The what?
Have you seen your equipment tax?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, let me know when you see it. You'll see your equipment tax. It's weird. There's all these little things that come to the restaurant industry that they do go other places, but the restaurant industry seems to be highlighted because food costs have gone up, employee wages have gone up.
Yeah.
So everything keeps going up, but it doesn't jive.
County fees.
Yeah, it
They've
doesn't
almost
jive with what you're
doubled.
doing. So you have to put it back on the customer, but at the same time, you have to make it palatable that they're still going to come to your to your place. So you got to really thread that needle and make sense of it. And people don't realize that that's really what you do all the time. That's what we do at the restaurants all the time. I'm like, this is going up. We might have to put that back onto the menu and raise that. I don't know if we could do it right now. Maybe we'll eat it for a little bit. If this keeps up, we can't keep eating it. We'll eat it for now. Same with processing fees. That's one thing I talked about I spoke about it on every episode because I want to get it out there.
Yeah.
I don't eat the processing fees. I can't. I don't want to. I think it's ridiculous for me too. So, we pay top wages. We do. We pay top wages. So I can't do all these different things, pay top wages, pay the processing fees, and you know what I mean? And keep the doors open.
You can't eat it all.
No. So there has to be some understanding of what we deal with. And so that's the reason I wanted to keep getting the word out there is like, all right, these adjustments are not adjustments for me. They're adjustments for my business, and my business is responsible for which entity, like with Chow Bella, we're responsible for 20 people over there. If it's Salt and Pepper, I'm responsible for 14 over there. If it's American Crown, I'm responsible for 8 over there. Like those are my responsibilities. So I should take money from them or take money from the entity and risk going out of business because of processing fees.
Yeah.
Or should I make sense of it and go, you know what? I'm not going to pay it. I don't suggest you pay it. And there's an alternative, right? Because if I take cash and we don't have to do a processing fee, you don't get hit, I don't get hit. Because they stick you for 3%, they stick me for 3% too. We're both part of
It
this.
goes up to 4.
Oh yeah, depending on who you're using, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty rough. So, I mean, as a business person, it just makes sense to make sense of these numbers. This is the future of this industry. And I know a lot of different people that have been in this industry, old timers, that are done with the industry. They sold their restaurants. I know a guy that's had like a chain of 40 restaurants in New Mexico, and he's done. He cannot stand what's happened to the industry to the point that he's sold everything because he doesn't have to do it.
Yeah.
That's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to do it. But in the process of selling all those things, a lot of them closed down. That's tax money. That's jobs. That's like so much stuff. So you didn't do anybody any good. So we just wanted to make sure that we could educate people so they know why you're doing what you do over there. Yeah. It's not personal. I'm just trying to make sure the business is successful.
And
I can pay my people.
Well.
Yeah, maybe there's a profit at the end of the day. Yeah. They see volume. That's one of the things. They see volume and they don't understand my profit margin.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's like 5% in the restaurant industry.
Yeah, and if you're trying to get out of there, and people like have a manager and a chef in place and try to get the hell out, it's really, really rough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're just trying to make sense of that, but they see volume. They equate volume with money because it looks like that to me too, and it's depressing when it's not.
Yeah, well, that's what's going to happen to us. Like, I can't get off the griddle. We can't afford to pay a guy to run the griddle.
Yeah.
So that's why we have the limited hours.
Because I don't get paid.
Yeah.
I get Modelo and an IPA.
I give him tips and beer. Yeah.
Well, you guys are doing a great job over there.
I appreciate it.
I like the way you guys have a setup with the family in there. And like I said, the vibe's great. The model's great. You guys just got to stay the course. And, like any business, you'll make some adjustments along the way. And I'm sure people will cry. Not people. There's like 2 people. You got to realize that out of hundreds of customers, it's only like 2 people crying.
It's true.
There's a guy who mentored me for a second. His name was Brian Christensen. Hey, Brian, thank you if you're out there. He's in Texas right now. He probably works for Haywood Pools. I had my pool servicing business, and I built my pool servicing business up from like 20 clients to like 300 and something. But I didn't really know what I had. I had 300 and something clients, but I really didn't. He looked at my book. He said, Leon, can I see your clients? I'll help you out. He said, if you listen to me, he said, I promise you, you're going to work less and make more money immediately. And I was like, all right, look at my book.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So he looked at my book and he started going through my clients. He said, what's up with this lady, Mary, over here? She hasn't paid you like in 3 months. I'm like, she's really old. You know? He's like, she's really old. Like, I don't know, Social Security. He's just like, you need to fire her. Right. He's like, what's up with this person? There was 2 pump repairs and they didn't do them with you. He uses somebody else for repair. He doesn't use me for repair. You need to fire him. Right. Systematically went across my book and took about 50 customers out. And I was like, that's 50 customers. It wasn't really 50 customers. I was stuck on the number, 330 something customers, but I had 50 deadbeats really that I was carrying in that book, wasting my time with.
Mm-hmm.
So I did what he said, got rid of them. He also said to me, we're going to start charging for chlorine tabs. You're going to charge $1 a tab for every pool. Okay, cool. I said, should I call them up and tell them? He said, what's wrong with you? You're going to call 200 and something people up and tell them you're going to charge them for a chlorine tab?
Mm-hmm.
I said, but like, I'm just going to charge them? He said, yeah, of course that's what you're going to do. You're going to charge them. And whoever has a problem is going to call you up and then you talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a little weird. I did it. I was waiting for my phone to go. My phone did not go. I spoke to one guy that had a problem with it that I lost, and he was an ass anyway.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was so right about how he ran the business, and I was a little blurred about my numbers, not looking at real numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So sometimes when you get your head around what you're looking at and how to make adjustments on it, it makes a lot of sense. And that guy was really cool. He started the relationship off and he started, one day I called him up for some information and he said, yeah, Leon, I'll just take care of your company like mine. And I said, what a fucking dick. I said, you don't have to be an asshole about it. And he said, no, I'm serious.
Oh, shit.
He said, no, I'm serious. And I said, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. Like, for real? He said, yeah, no, I'm serious. And so I listened to him. Good dude. Good dude.
That's cool.
I appreciate having you guys on the show. You guys have been
that's
great.
awesome.
Everybody go out to Sammy's Burgers. Check them out if you haven't been out there already. There's a big hum out there in the community. You guys want to jump in and add anything?
The Moab burger is delicious.
Yes, it is. Is that your top seller?
Yeah, that double cheese is
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we just wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for the community and all these awesome like customers that we have that are so loyal and have just been supportive from the very, very beginning.
Yeah, we have a ton of regulars that are super awesome.
Yeah.
And-
We've built friendships that we weren't expecting that are
yeah, and they're-
awesome.
And when you have like that one bad guy, it's like those people make you
That's
know,
right.
appreciate what you have, So we actually have made friends from our shop that we still hang,
It's a great community, man.
So, yeah.
16% of the people up here are vets.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
like they still like the country, still fly the flag. It's like it's somewhat normal. People are people. They've gotten really, really weird, weirder than times in the past. But most of them are good. Most of them are really cool. You do build really good relationships. And in my experience, like when somebody does something weird, they're the ones that go after them. Like
Yeah.
you just got to sit. You
Oh,
don't
I
even.
know.
You just sit back and don't even. And they go after them. And it's because like everybody has a voice now. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like everybody has a voice and opinion now. It's amazing to me because like I didn't really ask, but you have one. So that's just what we deal with.
Yeah.
No one asks about your opinion.
No,
Because no one cares.
no, I go
And-
out. I go out there and ask them about their opinion.
That's
And-
right.
and
Because
then
you care.
It's like the one guy that I didn't ask apparently writes a bad review. I'm like, fine.
Well, because he felt like you didn't go talk to him.
Yeah.
And it's a different time. So I seen something at one of my restaurants. It's the weirdest thing because I try to watch these things. I try to figure out people, which you never will. The human condition is a weird thing. So somebody leaves a review, the service was great, but it was more like drop and go.
Hmm.
What does that mean? So my server didn't hang out with you?
Yeah.
They didn't talk to you?
But then you'd probably be weirded out.
That's kind of weird, right?
Yeah, like, this guy's bothering
is that what you go out to do? If it is, that's cool. I understand. I just want to have a better understanding of what's going on there because my servers are amazing, by the way. They're amazing. And I never trained them to hang out with you.
Yeah, no.
I've trained them to know the menu. I've trained them to make sure the service is good. Like you said, service is good. But in training, I've never addressed them to socialize and hang out with you.
Yeah.
Never. And I won't.
No.
So like, it's just one of the things we got to deal with.
Yeah. It's not a bar, you know.
Yeah.
It's like the bartender has to. She doesn't have a choice.
It was great having you too.
Yeah, for real. All right, man.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, dude.
Tarah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Mind Your Business Quad Cities. We will see you next time. We have a new episode every month. Check us out wherever you stream podcasts. Mind Your Business Quad Cities is proud to be on Cast 11, Prescott's podcast network.